Christ Church on a Wednesday night. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Thanks. I think the most exciting and probably scariest point of my art teaching career actually came right before the actual professional part of it, that student teaching. Like when I first became Mr. Marone and had the opportunity to have like other people snot on me, and I actually inadvertently stained a little girl's prosthetic leg purple, but that's a different story, but it's true. So I grew a lot. I mean, it was a meaningful experience. And one of the first days when you first get there, before you start teaching your own lessons, your job is basically just kind of walk around the class, get to know the kids, watch the cooperating teacher in action. And on one particular day, the cooperating teacher said, "Hey, keep an eye, maybe you can help me out, keep an eye on this kid named Kenneth, second grade class. He has a hard time following directions." And I felt like, oh, well, this is a challenge. You know, I'm a young, at the time, a young guy, and maybe I'll be able to connect with this kid. You know, like I'm going to really impress her. So the lesson was she gave everybody a photograph of a landscape, and they were to paint it. And she talked about foreground and middle ground and background, and went through this whole explanation. And no sooner did she finish, and Kenneth's like, "I'm going to paint a dinosaur." And so I walked over and said, "Hey, bud. What we're doing here is we're actually going to be painting what we see in this photograph. So, you know, look at the foreground, look at the middle ground, look at the background. There's no dinosaur there. So, I like dinosaurs too, but just do the best you can to just paint what you see. That's rendering." And I felt good about that, and I took a step or two. And he said, "Mr. Malone, what if I paint like a dinosaur like just in the background?" I was like, well, Kenneth, we're looking at the photograph. Try to stay true to the photograph. So in the background, there's no dinosaur. That wouldn't make sense. Maybe on another lesson, we'll do something with dinosaurs. But this one, just paint what you see." And he seemed to get it. And a couple steps away, and, "Mr. Malone, what if I put like a dinosaur, like not like his head comes in the side? Like you can't see like his body, but his head comes inside." I was like, "Well, Kenneth, I don't think we can have any dinosaur in this picture because this is rendering. We're looking at the photograph, and we talked about foreground, and middle ground, and background." And he made a face like, "Okay." So I walked more than a few steps away, and I actually got a chance to work with some other students, and I assumed that things were going well. And then just from across the room, I hear an exclamation is, "What if we accidentally put a dinosaur in our painting?" And I went over, and sure enough, there was like a brontosaurus. There was like this giant dinosaur right in the middle of it. And I remember feeling discouraged, but the look on his face, he was so proud. You know, he is so pleased with himself and so proud. And it's ironic because in any classroom, art classroom, English classroom, math, science, certainly history, the people that we teach about, the textbook heroes, are people that challenge authority and don't follow the rules, and seldom are students encouraged to do the same thing. So I learned a lot in student teaching, as you can imagine, but Kenneth, taught me, like, if you are faced with following the directions or your heart, every once in a while it's okay to accidentally paint a dinosaur. Thank you.